Every week I receive loads of portfolios from people that wants to publish in the Raw Society magazine, people that wants to join as a pro members in the Raw Society. And I've noticed that loads of those people are very talented. But I also noticed that it happens a lot that not everybody knows how to present themselves or their work. That's why in this episode we are going to talk about portfolios. And for that, I think that first we should establish or define what a portfolio is. It might seem a little bit silly, but loads of people send me Instagram accounts, Instagram pages. And I think that there is a place for social media. It has its use, its purpose, but it's definitely not the place where you should portray your best work. It's a place that you can use to share things that you're doing, sketches maybe, things like that. Being social, connecting with people in different places, that's a good use of that. Portfolio, it's a tool. It's a professional tool. It's something that we use with an intention, with a purpose of sending it to someone, to showing it to someone, an editor, a client, a magazine, a gallery, that kind of thing. Therefore, the way that you make your portfolio or portfolios, because you don't necessarily need to have just one, is going to define how people see your work, how they understand your capabilities, your skills, and so on. So what's going to define what kind of portfolio you need is going to be the intention behind it, is to who you want to send it to, for what purpose. Today we're going to talk about the two main kinds of portfolios that I think that everybody thinks about when you think about creating something like that with your body of work. The first one, the classic one, I would say, it's of course a collection of your best. It's a collection of photographs that are going to be your best photographs, that are going to show your skills with composition, with lighting, with color combination, if do you color, your anticipation, how you get interesting moments, maybe portraits as well, and that kind of stuff. It's a way to show your skills as a photographer, your technical skills. That might seem a little bit more obvious as well, but what is not necessarily so obvious is that one of the skills that is unspoken in this kind of portfolio is your editing skills. When we say share your best of the best, we have to realize that great photography is rare. It's not something that happens often. And when I'm talking about great photography, I'm not talking about sustained bodies of work. I'm talking about single pictures that are going to have an impact with someone. That means that you're going to have a collection of pictures that, as single pictures with no connection with each other, are going to engage with the viewer in a strong way. And that's why editing is so important, because you have to decide what of all your work is going to be that defining collection of photographs that are going to represent your skills technically, but also your voice visually, and are going to generate an impact only by themselves without having a series or a sequence that are going to hold more meaning because of the whole body of work. That type of portfolio is going to be the one that you would like to have in your landing page, in your website, for example. Is something that you would send as a first email to an editor, maybe to a gallery in which you want to show your skills. Maybe with that you want to include, a few short captions to the picture with a little bit of background and that kind of thing to enrich the whole story. But that would be it. It would be a collection of 10, maybe 20 great pictures. And I bet you that there are not that many pictures in a short career, so be patient. If you have 5 great pictures, 6 great pictures, do a portfolio with those great pictures. Don't try to overshare, because the only thing that happens with that is that you're going to undervalue your quality as a photographer. We were saying that all of this portfolio thing, it's a tool. I believe that you should design some type of strategy to think about how do you want to show yourself to people, how you want to work with your photography, and what you want to do in the future. to design this path in front of you that will define as well how you will show your stuff. And talking about strategy, I would say that the other kind of portfolio that I want to talk about, I think it's really interesting, especially right now, because I don't think that now only with great pictures is going to make it. There's loads of great photographers out there, and I think a great background story of your photograph is always going to be an extra layer of information, an extra layer of interest for the viewer that you can provide with that. That's why the other great way of making a portfolio would be making a portfolio of stories, short essays maybe, that you might want to publish in a newspaper or in a magazine, or you can put it in your blog, for example, or in your Substack. I think it's a great way of showing that other part of the skills that a photographer needs to have to be a professional and to be a good photographer, which is to how to edit yourself, as we said, but also how you are going to be sequencing your own story, how are you going to write about it, how are you going to approach certain subjects. That's something that you only can show through sequences, through short essays or small bodies of work that you can put out there in a form of a blog form or in a book form or in a magazine. I think that thinking about all of those different platforms, it's very beneficial for a portfolio, because of course in a website you can have your landing page with your best of the best, your impact work, and then you can have a section in which you can explain what kind of stories are you interested in. That will be the essays. And that's very powerful, because when people land in a page or in a book that you design, they can see, they can get engaged with that first portfolio, that first powerful engagement pictures, and then they probably would go further, if that's interesting enough, to see what else do you have. That other kind of portfolio is going to engage with people in a way that's much stronger. We can talk about how can you show your portfolio to people, and I think that there is obviously just a couple of options. The first one, of course, is going to be some type of website. I want to mention in this video that is sponsored by Pixpa. We've been collaborating with them for years, and one of the things that I find interesting about them, and I think it might be interesting for you, is that it's easy. There's plenty of companies out there, websites in which you can build shops and super interesting things, but at the end, in a website, what you want is to show your photography, your skills, your talent. And because of that, I think that the easier it is, the better. And that's why I like Pixpa in general. It's because it's fast, it's easy, it's not expensive, which is also something that I find very important. And it's very simple. You don't need to spend all your time building a huge platform with loads of options and shops and merchandise and things like that. You're a photographer. You have to tell stories. You have to show people your skills. And I think that simplicity in a platform like Pixpa is going to give you that. Make your work stand out by being the main thing in your place, in your website. The other way that I think is really effective and is quite interesting, it's of course printing your portfolio. I would say that there are many ways. It used to be that when you would go to a portfolio review or something like that, you would go with prints, with big prints, nice quality, of a collection of your photographs, maybe from a body of work or whatever it was. And that's a great choice. I think that printing your own work, it's an important thing to do. And even if it's going to be as an exercise, something that you should do is try to select your best pictures and print them to see how those look, and maybe give one of those to someone, or sell them, right? Make an exhibition of your best of the best. A format that it's printed that I like a lot right now would be the magazine format. I think that this is very interesting, especially for short stories. Imagine that now you can print on demand this magazine format with 3, 4, 5 short stories, all made by you with your own text, your own design. And I think this is very powerful because you're going to be able to put your best edit, the best rhythm, the sequence that you prefer is going to highlight your skills in a way that is going to be very, very strong. You can play with the design, you can do different things, and you're going to see your work in a very different way. And of course, you have this format that is tangible, that you can give to people. You can send it through the mail, and people are going to receive this thing, and they're going to be amazed by the kind of quality and the kind of production that you can pull off, which is not so normal. I think that you could take advantage of that, of the printed magazine. Another benefit of that, I would say, that is that you can, every time that you go in a trip, you go to another country, you can print a small portfolio. Maybe in that case, for showing to people in the streets. You're walking around, you're taking pictures, you're trying to make some type of story, and people would wonder, what is your deal, right? What are you doing with this? What is this for? Then you can, get from your bag this small example of your work, and people are going to appreciate that because they will see that you are serious, that you are not this influencer that goes around taking selfies and things like that. People really appreciate that kind of thing. So there's loads of benefits to the printed portfolio, like whether it's going to be the best of the best type portfolio, single pictures, or short stories that you can send to editors, to galleries, to me, for example. You can send to many different kinds of people, many different kinds of clients. We talked briefly about the intention behind it. I think that when you start to have your own voice, you start to define something that you are happy with certain type of style, certain type of story that you find interesting for yourself to investigate and to develop. I think that that's the moment in which you have to start to think about also what kind of audience you can find that is going to be interested in your work. Are you going to send this to a gallery? Are you going to send this to editors in a magazine? Are you going to send it to an agency? You want to make an exhibition for yourself? You want to self-publish? I think that it's part of the whole deal, right? So when you think portfolio, think intention, think strategically about it, and especially remember that less is usually more. And great photography is rare. It's not something that happens often. So try to put your best of the best and be very critical with your own work. If you're interested in Pixpa for a website, I'm going to put all the information in the description so you can check it out.